Little morning stroll down Rodeo Drive. There's the Gucci behind me. The shops are still closed. It's a great time to come down here. There is no people. Get some cute photos because we are definitely not shopping in these shops. But hey, we're window shopping. Peter and Pearl were still asleep back at the hotel, so it was nice to get out by myself and have a little morning walk and clear my head. We were going to do the touristy thing today because we're in LA, why not? So we caught a cab up to look at the Hollywood sign. We went to Lake Hollywood Park, which was a nice vantage point to see it, but there were signs up there that said there were rattlesnakes. Now, I live with brown snakes in my backyard, but that kind of freaked me out a little bit. I've never seen a real rattlesnake, but thankfully there were none to be seen. We then caught one of those driverless cars back to our hotel, and this time I sat in the front, and let me tell you, it's much more disconcerting when you're sitting in the front than in the back. But once you've been in the car for a little while, you kind of do get a sense of peace that at least there's no human error and the car is so cautious. So, yeah, I would do it again. Then it was time to head out to Anaheim for Disney. Now, Disney is a kind of one of those once in a lifetime things because it is so expensive that we thought we would do the 3-day pass. So we have this afternoon in Disney, and then we've got California Adventure World tomorrow, and then back for a full day at Disney before we head off to Vegas. So we wanted to make the most of our day, but I'm going to admit I found it quite overwhelming when we got into the park and we weren't sure what we were going to do. So we decided we were just going to get some snacks first and then would work out our action plan. Now, I decided I would get a pretzel shaped of mini with cheese. Now, I didn't expect my pretzel to come with dipping cheese, but it was kind of okay. It was so salty. I'm finding everything very heavily salted and very sweet over here for my taste. And while at Disney, you must have a Mickey ice cream, right? Isn't that mandatory? Now, there's 2 things we do on holidays. We collect Pandora charms for every country we've been to, and we collect Christmas decorations. And Disney came through with the goods. There were so many amazing Christmas decorations. There was actually a whole shop just dedicated to Christmas decorations. So I just got one, and I really wanted to bring this home too, but I cannot fit it in my luggage. I'm so sad. Then it was time for rides. I think we did our first ride about 6:30, and this one is called the Buzz Lightyear ride, where you have to shoot these little laser beams at these targets, and Pearl steers the car. So she was very competitive in this one, and she did an amazing job, and she did beat us all. Next was Peter's choice of ride, and he chose the little submarine one, and this one felt like home because you get on and they say, "G'day, welcome to the Great Barrier Reef," in the cutest little Aussie accent. So this one was kind of cool. So you get on these little subs and they go under this big pool and you get to see the Great Barrier Reef. Now, of course, it's all a fake Great Barrier Reef, but it's still pretty cool. Now, I get a little bit claustrophobic, so even this little fake submarine was freaking me out a little bit, but it was super cute once you got into it. And you hear the story of Finding Nemo under here, and Pearl was most fascinated. So now I feel like we better take her to see the real Great Barrier Reef because she was very impressed with this fake one. We have done Disney before, but first time we did it was in Paris and the second time we did it in Tokyo. So this is our first time in an American Disney and it is very different. Now, every time Pearl wants one of these bubble blowers and we always say no. But this time we caved and we said yes because do you know what? Nothing has taught me that life is short than the last couple of weeks. So let's get the bubble blower. This was a really cool ride. This one, you drive on these little tracks and the car goes around them and the kids think they're driving themselves, and Pearl's in that one in front of us there and she was loving life. And then it was my choice of ride. So next we're going to do the Star Wars Rise of the Resistance, and this is the big one, the one that everybody wants to do, and it's like an immersive experience as well as a ride, and I didn't really understand it till we got in there. And they make you feel like you are in the Star Wars movie. There's characters everywhere. There's people dressed up as all the characters from the show. You've got stormtroopers, and you go through a whole bunch of different sections which tell the story. And you really feel like you're in these little capsules and you're flying around. And the sets were amazing, true to life. Like they were epic in size and everything. So I really love this one. And even if you don't know the Star Wars movie, because neither Pearl or Peter have ever seen one, they still really enjoyed the ride. So then you get into this little cart things and they take you around and they spin and they drop and you're up and you're down and you're shooting and you actually feel like you're in the Star Wars movie. So that was a heap of fun. Highly recommend if you ever get the chance to go to Disney. Then it was time for the fireworks, and we lined up for half an hour and stood there and we waited. And 2 minutes before the show, we were told the fireworks was cancelled. Now, this is not our first time on this ride. It also happened to us in Disney in Tokyo. We missed out on the fireworks as well. But we did stumble across this amazing light show in the Star Wars section. It was epic. It was so good. Again, telling the story. Everything is massive scale over in Disney. So we really enjoyed that. So if you're enjoying our little trip, make sure you come back tomorrow, because tomorrow we are off to California Adventure World. Disney was amazing. It did overwhelm me, but it was so much fun. And it does make you forget the sadness, because I think it might just be the happiest place on earth. Till next time. Bye.